back in the 1950s, the United States, it was possibly not a good place to have an interracial marriage between white people and non-whites. This, however, is a song that celebrates one such marriage, and very, very unusual at that time. It was possibly seen as a plea for more toleration, or perhaps because the guy who composed this also wrote "How much is that doggy in the window?" Perhaps it's just a little bit of fluff. I worked in a London bank, respectable position. From 9 till 3 they serve you tea, which spoils your disposition. Each day in the music hall, travelogues I'd see, and once a pearl of a native girl came smiling back at me. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She lives on just coconuts and fish from the sea. A rose in her hair, a gleam in her eye, and love in her heart for me. Farewell to the London bank. I started off for sailing. The 14th day from Mandalay, she spied me from the railing. She knew I was on my way. She'd waited and been true. She said, "You son of an Englishman, I dreamed each night of you." She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She lives on just coconuts and fish from the sea. A rose in her hair, a gleam in her eye, and love in her heart for me. I went to a ma and pa and said I loved her only. They both said that we could wed. Oh, what a ceremony! An elephant brought her in and placed her by my side. Then 6 baboons got out bassoons and played "Here Comes the Bride." She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She lives on just coconuts and fish from the sea. A rose in her hair, a gleam in her eye, and love in her heart for me. I'm back at the London bank, and though it may sound silly, she's here with me, and you should see us walk down Piccadilly. The boys in the London bank can scarcely get their breath. She sits with me and sips her tea, it tickles them to death. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She wears red feathers and a hooly-hooly skirt. She lives on just coconuts and fish from the sea. A rose in her hair, a gleam in her eye, and love in her heart for me. Love in her heart for me.